Well, the Washington State man sues Michigan State police after being victim to a vicious K-9 attack in 2019. Robert Gilliam III was visiting the state in November of 2019 when the state trooper stopped him after receiving a call of a stolen vehicle. In the video, you will see former Trooper Parker Surbrook letting his K-9 partner repeatedly assault an unarmed Gilliam. Watch this.
Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stay out of the ground, mother! Hey! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him! Get out of the stop him! Stop him! Stay on him! Stay on him! Stay on him! Don't move! Don't move! Stop! Hey, don't hey, put your hands up! Don't move! Stop me! Get over!
Washington is Robert Gilliam III and his attorney Maurice Davis from Detroit, Michigan. Glad to have both of you on the show. Let me first start here. So, Robert, you were stopped. You were stopped supposedly for a stolen vehicle.
No.
So I said supposedly. What actually happened here?
Can I talk, Mr. Davis? I thought it was a.
Yes, I can explain what happened, Mr. Martin, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm representing Mr. Gilliam. So the officer gets behind my client. He attempts to pull him over. My client doesn't stop. He is involved in a very short chase. My client eventually crashes into a tree. After crashing into the tree, the impact, it caused his hip to break. So he exits the vehicle. He realizes that he couldn't put any weight on his legs, so he collapsed to the ground. After collapsing to the ground, he spread his hands out and was surrendering. He said, okay, I'm done. I'm giving up. Arrest me. Trooper Surbrook pulls up with his K-9 and orders the dog to attack him immediately.
First things first, yes. Why was he stopped?
He was pulling him over for a traffic offense. I'm not sure exactly what that traffic offense was, but it was a simple traffic infraction.
Okay, so he was pulling him over for a traffic offense, and you said a chase commenced.
Yes.
What was the reason for the chase?
He didn't stop immediately. I mean, there's, some African Americans, they panic when police get behind them.
Gotcha.
So my client, he panicked. He didn't stop. He was involved in a very short, high-speed chase, crashed into that tree, and injured himself.
Okay, so crashes to a tree. And then he clearly isn't. You look at the video; he's not going anywhere. So
he couldn't.
You see the video, and the dog is literally on top of him. And first of all, based upon this, there were two people in the vehicle.
Yes, there were two individuals in the vehicle: my client and a relative.
All right. So here you see in the video, the cop leaves where the dog is, like, okay, dog got him, and he's just gnawing at you, pulling at you, and then he comes up to the other side and sort of comes back. How long, and like you see the video now, he's walking away and he's yelling, pull the audio up, please. We hear you, Robert, begging the cop. He's just sort of walking off, and he's telling the dog, stay on him.
Yes. He actually said he don't. The dog was biting me on my face.
Hold up. Okay, here's what I'm trying to understand. You got one officer who was on the other side of the car. You've got this officer yelling at the dog to stay on him. What doesn't make sense to me is, why didn't he simply pull the dog off and handcuff you or whatever, but just keep the dog on you? Robert, go ahead.
I don't care. I'm not moving, sir. I'm not moving. Got him.
I'm sorry. Guys, go to Robert, please. Thank you. Guys, cut to Robert, please. Away from the video. Come on. Cut. Thank you. Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
I don't know what was going through his head at that time. This is not my first time that I've actually been in trouble with the law, but I know officers are supposed to handle you accordingly um, hold up right to their standards of when they take that vow to be a police officer. And I think he took it too far, because I kind of put him on a chase. Um, right now it's 2021, and look what they're doing to African Americans. So yes, I was scared, you know what I'm saying, for my life a little bit, you know what I'm saying, what people is going through right now, especially African American as males, what we're going through with police officers. So I was kind of scared for my life, but I didn't know that taking it that he was going to take it that far to snare a dog, you know what I'm saying, almost viciously, you know what I'm saying, just eat me up and almost kill me. I was asking him, you know what I'm saying, I was pleading for my life, like, sir, can you get the dog off of me? And once I said, you know, he was biting me in my face, he says, I don't care. So that's something that I'm going to court for, you know what I'm saying? And I just want justice, and for the, you know what I'm saying, for the other black males that's going through the same thing that I'm going through. Thank God I just got a voice that I can speak out about it. And that's what I'm doing right now. It's just pleading my case, you know what I'm saying? Because if that was me, on the other foot, if that was me, I already been locked up in prison doing my time and everything.
Were there any charges actually filed against you?
Oh yes, it's charged against them. Yes.
If I can answer that.
Okay, Maurice, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there were no charges filed against him. We actually got an immunity agreement from the prosecutor's office for his testimony against the officer.
Okay, so he's pulled over supposedly for a traffic stop. A chase ensues. No charges are filed. You get an immunity agreement to testify against the police officer who was charged in March.
Yes.
That's correct. And my client, he already testified at phase 1. The officer, he was charged with felonious assault. In Michigan, that's up to a 4-year felony. So at the beginning of a case, you have your arraignment, and you have your probable cause conference, then you have your preliminary exam. Preliminary exam is where witnesses against a defendant testify, and they have to show that there is what's called probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause that that defendant committed that particular crime. So in this case, my client, he went in, he testified in Lansing. The judge listened to his testimony. The judge watched the video and ruled that there was probable cause to charge Trooper Surbrook with felonious assault. The case was then bound over to circuit court, where he's going to stand trial.
You filed this particular lawsuit. You filed it when?
The lawsuit's been filed for about a month now. We're alleging violations of my client's civil rights, along with pain and suffering. We're asking for a verdict in excess of $1 million. It's been filed in the Western District of Michigan.
Obviously, Robert, it has to be very difficult to have to watch that video and relive that. Do you still have any continuing injuries as a result of this car crash and this dog attack?
Oh yes, I walk on a cane long distance, and I can't like bend down like I used to, even though I'm 42 years old, you know. But I make the best of it, you know. I have the dog bite scars on my body, you know, that I never can't get rid of. That's, and my kids see that, you know. Sometimes they be like, my daughter asks me like, well, Dad, what's that right there? What's that big old scar? And I have to tell her, you know, I have to tell her the truth. So I live with it day to day, you know.
Well, we certainly appreciate both of you being with us. We will follow this case to see where it goes next.
Thank you for having us.
All right, Robert, Maurice, thank you as well. We talk a lot repeatedly on this show, Omekongo, about the actions of police and how when you have training, things along those lines. Look, I get it. A car chase ensues, but a dog gnawing on somebody, look, that's real. We've seen other videos as well where these officers will stick a K-9 dog on someone and they're yelling and screaming in pain. The officer just allows the dog to continue. So when we talk about police training, that also applies to how they use K-9 dogs against citizens.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't even see a reason for the K-9 to be deployed when the man is already on the ground. I mean, and then the words that just keep playing in my head, the stay on him, the stay on him. And like you said, he's just walking around the whole scene as if it's almost like he sounds angry, but it's almost nonchalant at the same time. And I understand that there's a lot of adrenaline. I know the police are also angry as well. But again, it goes down to training. When somebody gets out of the car and they are not moving and you see no gun, they're not a clear threat. This just borders on the line of torture. I'm just on the line. This is torture. And he still has these scars that he has to deal with. I don't care how many run-ins he's had with the law before. Nobody deserves that. And it makes me wonder why that type of deal that he was talking about with immunity or something to the like was struck, because maybe there's something about this officer we don't know. But this just goes against any type of training I've ever heard any police officer talk about, and it's torture.
Lauren?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times what we see on this video is adrenaline and really, particularly after any sort of chase, sometimes law enforcement officers sort of, I don't want to say panic, but they get a little bit overly excited, which is what I think happened to this particular officer. And it is what it is in the video. You can the video obviously speaks for itself.
Gilliam?
Protect and serve. That's what these people are supposed to be doing. Protect and serve. There's no protection. There's no service here. As Obakongo said, this man is down on the ground. There was no need for the dog to be gnawing on him. No need for him to be placed in this position. These people do not see black people as human. That's the bottom line. They don't see us as human, and we need to just throw a whole bunch of them off the police forces and start over. Defund the police does not mean there should never be police. It means that there should be police who know how to be compassionate, who know how to be responsive, who have been trained. And many of them have not been.
Back to that Roland Martin unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?